My name is Pepe. You're watching ASR TV. Welcome back again. And for today's show, we have our chairman of Success Resources, Richard Tan. So, Richard, thank you. Thank you for coming to this show. We have a few questions. I'm guessing we have a lot of questions from you. What is Success Resources and who is the man behind this? And then how it started. And then did you know we have been here for 25 years already? All these questions will be answered today by Richard. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Hello, Pepe.
Hi.
Hello, everybody that is watching this program.
So Richard, let's get onto it. So we have a lot of burning questions from the audience.
Sure.
So the most common question I get is like, how did Success Resources started? We know the audience know that we have started for 25 years, and next year is our 25th anniversary.
Yes.
So how did it started? Where did this journey began?
That's a very good question. I was asked this question also many times. Actually, Success Resources kind of start by accident. And I used to be an engineer by training, electrical engineer. I used to work on the oil rig, and those days I worked for an American company. And the American company, when times are good, they treat you very well. When times are not so good, they also get rid of you very, very fast. It's called 裁员. So those days in the 1980s, the oil price went down. So many oil company actually shut their oil well because the oil price went up. Because every barrel of oil that came out from the ground, the oil company actually lose money, right? So they kept the well, and true enough, I was retrenched, right? So many of my friends who worked with me together, or fellow engineers who worked with me together, they were really upset. They were really angry because when you work on board the oil rig, there's no stopping one. You work 7 days a week, and whether holiday, Hari Raya, Christmas, New Year, Chinese New Year, you have to work. So they were really upset because they all work very hard for the company. When the company need them, and when the company don't need them, they get rid of them. So they were really angry. But I felt a bit differently. I felt a bit of peace because, wow, I've been working very hard, and now suddenly someone forced me to take a break. Right? So I was a bit relieved. I have a friend who I grew up together with. He kind of volunteered me to help a non-profit organization. He knows that I'm out of job. It's so free. So the non-profit organization was running a conference at that time. And after the conference over, somebody came to me and nudged me, "Hey Richard, you're quite a good organizer. Why don't you do it full-time?" So I do it full-time from that day to today. That's how Success Resources start.
Wow, truly an accident, no? Oh wow, okay. So, unexpectedly you have continued this for 25 years. And Success Resources is famous for bringing like world-class speakers to around the world. How did you got to meet all these speakers like Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki? How do you meet them?
The simple answer is I meet them because they speak in our seminar.
But how do you invite them to come?
It all started when we were doing really, really small program, right? And we work very hard to do well in small program. That means we actually fulfill what we commit. So when we do your small seminar well, you build a reputation and trust. Then somehow, the next level of speaker are willing to work for to speak for you. And then when you do it well, then word pass around, and then the top speaker like Tony Robbins and other top range speakers say, "Hey, this guy do very well," and they then work with us together. So to answer your question is that it was a progressive thing and not like suddenly, right? It was a progressive thing. We learn our lesson, we gain our experience, then we are able to take on these big speakers.
I see. So it's all not like boom like that. It's all step by step, accumulated success. So from there, Success Resources is a personal development seminar and business seminar. We provide all these workshops and programs. So for someone who is totally new to personal development programs and business seminars, like if they never been what will you tell them? What will they gain from this? You know, they say, I can learn this from YouTube videos, from podcasts, reading books. What is the difference by coming to a live seminar?
That's a very good question. I got this question more today than last time, because today the social media and many information are readily available.
Yes.
Now, I want to just give an example. Many of you watching it, you might also know how to swim, or you might ride bicycle, or you might drive a car, right? And reading a book on how to swim will not make you a good swimmer. Right? You got to feel the water, you got to feel, you got to really submerge in it, you know, feel the wave and temperature, etc. to make you a comfortable swimmer. If you read from books, no matter how many times you read, and you jump in the water, you will drown. So that there are certain things you just can't just read or even watch. I mean, you stand by the side, looking at how people swim, does not make you a good swimmer. You got to jump into the water. And in the water, you feel different things. You feel the pressure, you feel the temperature, you feel maybe the wave, etc. If you swim in the sea, same. There are certain program or certain education you can read from books, but there are certain experience, like for example, the energy, the connection with the people around you that can enhance your learning experience, that you really have to come for a live seminar. And also on a live seminar, you get to meet many people, you get to network. Yes, you know, you can send email, but it cannot replace a face-to-face meeting. It cannot replace a firm handshake to communicate, right? How you feel. So there is a market, or there is a demand whereby you can learn from YouTube, you can learn from book, but there's also a market where people want to actually come live, right? To get a more intensive training. So there is a market for it.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. So from that, for you, did you got to expose yourself into like what we call the self-help books and personal development seminars and programs before you went on this organizing seminars accidentally, this journey?
Actually, go back to many years. I wasn't really interested in learning and studying.
Okay.
Right? So in school, I wasn't really interested in the schoolwork, etc. But one day, there's a teacher changed my life. So I met a very good teacher who go beyond her call of duty. I wasn't doing well in my classwork, and I don't know, some of you here, if you are a little bit older, don't stay in school. You have to stay back. If you don't do your homework, right, teacher say, okay, stay back. Then you got to stay back in school. I'm not sure if today it does happen today or not, but in my time when we go to school, if you don't do your homework, you don't do well, teacher, you call detention class. So I didn't finish my homework. I got to go for a detention class. And in the detention class, I got to finish my homework in the so-called the teacher's room. We call it the common room that time, but it's the teacher's room. And as I was doing my homework, I smelled something nice. Then I look around. It was a canteen uncle who brought along 2 bowl of fishball noodle. The first bowl, she gave it to my teacher. Second bowl, she put on my table. He put on my table. I was surprised. I said, uncle, I didn't order. He said, no. He said, your teacher bought this for you. I was really surprised because I was there. Detention class means kena punishment to do my homework, and my teacher bought me a bowl of noodle, right? And I was really touched, right? But in short, is that, you know, because she went beyond her call of duty to look to take care of me, and so I was really touched, and I decided to want to study and pass my test or pass my to do well for her. And along the way, so I got interested in learning. That's how I got interested in growth and learning. And when the opportunity come to run Success Resources, naturally, because of my interest in learning, because somebody changed my life. So I'm very inclined to go into this learning, growing, and to help change other people's life. That's how I got interested in personal development.
Wow, okay. Another accident also, someone changes their life just like that. So this brings me to, if you, some of you might notice, Success Resources has a tagline called Change Life Globally. Is this where it comes from?
Well, eventually we find this tagline, but I've always wanted to do something meaningful. I mean, I'm an engineer. I can be fixing motor, fixing generator, tightening screw, work on wiring, work on circuit board, etc. But these are dead things, I mean, like it's cold, it's dead, right? A human being, we are alive. So a human being is very precious. Human life are very precious. Motor is spoiled, you can throw away. You can't throw a human being away. If the cable is spoiled, you just buy another one and fix it. But human life, you can't, right? So human being is very precious. And the mission of changing life perhaps is a higher calling than trying to fix a motor or fix a generator, right? So our mission is to change life globally, something that is beyond or more important than just making money or trying to fix a motor or fix lights, etc. So that mission kind of motivate, give us a driving force to do what we do and to work day and night to make sure that everyone who are watching in, right, your life can change and you can achieve your goal. That makes it very meaningful.
Wow, that's very heartwarming. So your teacher inspired you to learn, and you have a different perspective in learning. From there, organizing and meeting so many speakers around the world, who would you say still inspire you until today in what you do?
That's a good question also. I think I've been always, the journey of learning never ends, right? I do learn from world-class speakers like Anthony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, T.F. Ecker, Les Brown, world-class national leader like Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and many others. But I also learn from ordinary people. I even learn from our own participant. Sometimes when they share a certain story, I could see that, hey, it's a great lesson that I must learn. And sometimes I even learn from my grandchildren, right? My grandchildren, how they never let obstacle stop them, from doing the things that they want to do.